The opinions expressed by tonight's guest do not represent the opinions or position of Spaced Out Radio, syndicated carriers, or anyone associated with SOR Media. Listener discretion is advised. Here at Spaced Out Radio, we are about to take you higher. Broadcasting from the Rocky Mountains of Colorado to you listening around the world. This is Spaced Out Sunday with host Tessa N Thomas. You can follow Tessa on our Facebook page at Spaced Out Radio, on Twitter at TessaTNT, and you can subscribe to her YouTube channel. Go to youtube.com/Spaced Out Radio for the archive. But we break on command 'cause women rule the world. Buckle up, space travelers. Let the countdown begin.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's time to go for a ride with host Tessa N Thomas.
Good evening, Spaced Out Radio. Secure your tinfoil hats, buckle down tight, and hold on loosely as we soar over the rocky tops of the La Platas on a Rocky Mountain high. Get sucked into the vortex of the Four Corners and settle down snugly at mile marker 419.9 in colorful Colorado. It is Sunday, January 20th, Monday, January 21st for those of you on the East Coast and beyond, and this is Spaced Out Radio. I hope you guys had a rockin' weekend, an awesome day, and an even better evening. I am your host, TessaTNT, and I am live tonight broadcasting from beautiful Bayfield, Colorado. We are 150,000 strong nightly on Spaced Out Radio Network, spacedoutradio.com, Spreaker, Paranormal Radio, TalkStream Live, as well as Deep Talk Radio, which you can find at deeptalkradio.com. We're also on 99.1 FM WQEE, 107.7 FM UPRN in Louisiana, as well as Revolution Radio. Don't forget to head to our website, spacedoutradio.com, where you can peruse the Spaced Out Radio store and read the encounter online dealing with everything strange, paranormal, and odd. And my heart still skips a beat. I'm such a lucky guy, 'cause after all this time, it's like the deeper I go, the deeper I fall. Yeah, the deeper I go, the deeper I fall. So tonight, I have a treat for all my guys and gals out there. Tonight, we'll be talking to and getting to know Mr. Craig S. Leafloor, and he's a highly sensitive empath and medium. Craig has had his abilities since he was a little boy. At first, he was analyzing pictures, and then as he grew up, he was able to predict death up to a 3-month window. He's able to see health issues. He has been doing readings with accuracy for some time. He has been involved in investigating the paranormal now for 10 years, working with OPRI, which is Ottawa Paranormal Research and Investigations, up in Canada, dealing with lost spirits, loved ones, and demonic cases. Really just helping where anyone needed his and his team's help. That's what Craig likes to do. He has helped people feel better by connecting them with loved ones. He also cleanses homes of evil and dark entities. And I have him here on Skype, but I haven't been able to hear him. But he can hear me. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to try calling him on my Skype on my phone and seeing if we could do the interview that way. Which everything looks good on this end as far as the way it's supposed to be set up. So I'm not sure. Maybe I just needed to update my computer. And it appears... There it is. Skype. All right, so I'm going to hang up with you over here, Craig, and then I'm going to call you back on my phone, okay? All right, T. So I'm going to call Craig here. I'm sorry about that, you guys. There he is. I'm calling. Hey, Craig. Oh, good. Okay, hold on. Let me put you on speaker. All right. So, how's it going?
It's going excellent. How about yourself?
Great. Sorry about the technical issues. I don't know what's going on here. But at least we can hear you through the phone, so that's good.
As long as that works.
For sure. So, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? When was your first paranormal experience, and when did you realize that you had this gift?
Okay, well, I guess, like I said, it started when I was younger. I was able to analyze paintings and drawings, probably from the age of 7 or 8. I really didn't understand how I was able to read people's emotions through their drawings or paintings. I just was able to, so with that, I just figured, okay, I was able to do that. And then once I got a little older, some deaths in my family happened, and I was able to predict it, and that kind of opened me up to everything else. I've been pretty accurate with my predictions of people passing, from Anna Nicole Smith, Mr. Dress Up. It's really random. It could be just me watching TV and seeing somebody on the TV, and just automatically there's my prediction. I started doing the paranormal about 10 years ago, working alongside John Moore with Ottawa Paranormal Research and Investigations. My first case was actually one of the strongest demonic cases I've been to, where we actually did an exorcism. It was quite the eye-opener, needless to say. It was definitely new to me. I haven't done another one since then. Very, very far between. And I've just continued on with this and just trying to help people.
So did you have any paranormal experiences as a child? Were you able to see entities or anything like that?
No, not that I could recall. My upbringing was, I was raised in CAS, so in foster care. So I moved around a lot. So there was no kind of spot in my early years where I was calm, mellow, at ease. So I don't think I would have been able to see anything at that point. Only now that I'm older, a little more relaxed and a lot more calmer.
So you're able to see stuff now. Have you experienced a lot with the paranormal team that you work with?
Oh, yes. Really, I went in not knowing, right? And I wanted to know more about the paranormal. So I was, I guess, more skeptic, per se. Like, I knew I had some abilities, but I really didn't know how far they went. And I knew there was other things out there, but again, I'd never seen anything. So once I started doing the paranormal and just going to these different cases and feeling those negative energies or the positive ones as well, it sure opened my eyes up to this whole new world of beings, spirits, lost souls, and even the demonic as well.
Yeah, we do quite a few cases over here with our paranormal team, Four Corners Paranormal Investigations, and the dark ones are quite scary, especially when you get into the demonic cases, which I don't really enjoy those. I like to pass those on to, whoever they're fellowshipped in, whatever church or belief that they have, and perhaps they can help them out. Because that sort of thing, scares me. I'm afraid it'll follow me home. Have you ever had anything follow you home from an investigation?
I think so a few times. But I've had to make sure to protect myself now going into these places. In the beginning, I was very, cocky, I guess you would say, where I would, demand them to show themselves or demand them to do something to me to prove, so I would have proof. And to learn down the road that, I'm only asking for trouble if I'm asking for any kind of proof from a demonic entity. The last thing you want them to do is to be able to get inside. And you really need to protect yourself to be able to do that.
So can you kind of paint a picture for us as far as your cases go? What was your very first case you worked on?
Wow. I think we ended up going to a cemetery. It's called Buck Hill out here in Ontario. And it's a long, dark gravel road, trees on either side. And it said that you could see the light of a man carrying a lantern walking up that road. That time we really didn't see anything. At least, I didn't feel that we were really seeing anything. Again, looking into the forest, you can see a face on anything. So I really didn't take any credence to that. The second time going up, we definitely did get a lot more experiences, voice phenomena, shadows, that kind of stuff. So it was definitely interesting. It piqued my interest to make me go a lot further with this, for sure.
How did you first get involved with this team?
They were, I guess, headhunting. They were looking for sensitives and empaths and mediums of all sorts. I called them up and I just basically gave a guy a reading over the phone, and he liked what I had to say, so that pretty much started it all off.
Awesome. Do you guys partake in the National Ghost Hunting Day or the world's largest ghost hunt?
We did, but we couldn't get our internet hooked up where we were. We were beside a dam, and the water obviously rushing through, a stone building, no internet. But yeah, we were there, but we just couldn't go live.
Yeah, we've done it for several years, and the first 2 years we had so many complications as far as our tech goes, and we weren't able to go live like we wanted to, but we still had a good night. Where did you guys investigate for your ghost hunting for the world's largest ghost hunt?
Now you're making me think. The Moore House.
Oh, nice.
And it was out in Egansville. So this would have been a plantation. For myself, my team doesn't tell me anything. So I walk into these places not knowing anything about them. Basically, 90% of my predictions are about a half hour prior to getting to the place we're going to. So normally on the way up is when I jot everything down that comes to me. With this place, there's a little girl. So this is the old Victorian house, stone walls 3 feet thick, just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful workmanship. But you'd always, I noticed that there was almost like a half a head walking by this one window, and to find out she died of tuberculosis and consumption. So we definitely, in that room was, I brought out my pendulum. I like my pendulum as well. And it was interesting, but we had so many people there that were were involved with the ghost hunt, because we had about, I guess, 50 people showed up. So the place was just full. But it still didn't, the spirits still came out to play, and some people had some experiences there, and there was, they have beds in all the little rooms, and this one bed where she lived or slept, you would lie down, but once you tried to get back up, you couldn't really get back up. It kind of almost sucked you to the bed. It was interesting. It freaked out a lot of people, that's for sure.
Yeah, I bet. And it's funny how when you do, which that's what they like to have, is a lot of people show up and join you that don't generally do this sort of thing. And it seems like sometimes there's a lot more activity when that happens. And it could be just because of the different energies that are there or whatnot, but it's pretty interesting. Do you guys find it sort of distracting having a bunch of people there with you, or did everything go good?
It actually went excellent. I love people. I love groups. I found it refreshing to kind of do something different and to teach people how to hopefully connect with spirits, how to meditate, how to ground themselves, how to just get themselves in that kind of mind frame where they're able to relax and maybe pick something up.
So going back to when you were a young boy and you discovered that you had this gift, did you do different things to try to build upon it, or did you just kind of go with the flow? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, I just kind of went with the flow. I still didn't really realize what that ability meant. I was able to get confirmation from certain people that knew the artist, or it could have even been them that drew the picture or painting. And it just seemed that they kept saying, oh, wow, like, there's no way you should know this. And I was able to pretty much analyze to what their feelings were when they were doing the painting or drawing. So it really, that was probably a couple years anyways, where I noticed that I was able to do that. And then I just kind of forgot about it till about 18, 19. And that's when the rest of the abilities kind of kicked into gear.
And by rest of the abilities, what exactly do you mean?
Okay, my next ability I learned I had was predicting death. I'll give you my example. I moved back to Ottawa from Vancouver. Ended up leaving and going back to Vancouver. My father brought me to the airport, and he said, I'll see you in a couple weeks. And I went through the gate, and I told my wife, I said, I'll never see him again. He'll be dead in a month. And he was dead in a month. So that was my first prediction that, I didn't know what I was saying or how I knew what I knew. I just realized I knew it once he passed. And then it just kind of snowballed from there, where I'd get random faces like Mr. Dress Up or, Anna Nicole Smith. That was when her son was in the hospital, and he had, I guess, gotten a hold of some drugs or something that she had. And I said, he's not dying, she is. And I was telling my wife, and she just kind of shakes her head, and she doesn't want to listen to me. She really is weirded out by it. And then to find out 3 days later, Anna Nicole Smith died. So it's just so random, and I don't have any control of who. So like I can't go to a buddy and say, okay, you're going to die July, 2022. It just doesn't work that way. It just, I see a picture and it just comes to me. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah, the flags just sort of pop up. I had a similar experience with our friend Carl, and he had received an injury in the military, and instead of trying to fix the issue, they just basically doped him up with morphine. And then instead of tapering it off, they took him off the morphine and put him on something else. And we went up to visit him, and of course he wasn't his usual, fun and weird self. He was really different and quiet and wasn't acting right, and wouldn't go out with us because, like I said, he was hurt. So we'd go out for dinner and bring him something back, or hang out with him on the couch and watch TV. As he was kind of not mobile anymore, and he ended up, while we were out a few times, making us all little paper figurines. I have one here in my studio that's a unicorn. He was trying to do it per what our horoscope as far as sign was. So he made me a unicorn for Sagittarius, and made like this little angel looking thing for my son, and so many different paper figures, and gave them to us before we left. And on the way home, I told my husband, I was like, I don't think Carl's going to be here very much longer. There's something wrong. And he did end up taking his own life, which was really, really sad. But you just kind of, there's just certain energies and different flags, like I said, that pop up, and you can just sense something like that happening.
You can almost smell it. It's weird. Like hospitals, I hate hospitals. Because I literally feel everybody's emotions. Mm-hmm. My wife has recovered from leukemia, and in the hospital there for 1.5 years with her, found it very hard because I was able to predict pretty much everybody on the floor, and you had all these people that were just hurting, and there's no help for those people, and I'd find random people would come up to me and say, hey, can we talk? And I'd be like, of course, how can I help, and it was just, a bunch of guys or, partners that are saying goodbye to their loved ones, really, and it was definitely hard for sure. And you can just sense that, I don't know, crossing over or...
Yeah, and it's interesting. Do you find that people do, like, even though they don't know you, they seek you out to vent to you, or, try to get some sort of advice or something like that?
24/7. It's, you meet somebody and then you get the whole life history, and which is awesome, and I really, that's what's made me heal. Mm-hmm. Is by me being able to help heal others through my own experiences. And yeah, I just find, I don't know how they find me. They just find me. So it's good. I really enjoy it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And like you said, it is good medicine for you, being able to help people. And for our team, I actually started it back in 2012. And, for the longest time, I like to call it hiding in the paranormal closet, because as a kid, like, at first, to me, it was normal, all this stuff that was going on. But once we moved into the city, and I'm trying to make friends, and I'm telling them all these crazy paranormal stories that have happened to me, and then they just kind of drift away, what a weirdo, and they didn't want to be around me. So I ended up keeping that stuff really close to myself, and kind of hiding in the paranormal closet,
That first one was a spirit guide, not a spirit.
Oh, nice. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'll try. You had your bed on the left-hand side of your back room. Trying to just get the picture of your bedroom here. I know it's a woman. And I don't think it's not a family member. It's not, it wasn't somebody that was known by your family.
Mm-hmm.
It was just truly a spiritual guide. Most spirit guides aren't family members. Actually, 99% of them aren't family members. A spirit guide is definitely its own entity group. I wouldn't say entity, but its own group of spirits, where you could have other kind of guides saying, let's say, a grandma that always stays around. My father is always around my house. The boys and the wife are always saying that they can see him or smell him or feel his energy. So, for yourself, was it always at the foot of your bed?
Well, now that you've talked about her and stuff, I'm thinking back to when I was a kid, and it was right before my mom passed away and was killed by a drunk driver, and I've always had issues sleeping. I've had insomnia. Even as a kid, I was the last one to be asleep, if I did sleep, and I heard footsteps coming down the hallway, and then all of a sudden, after calling out for my mom, about the third time I called out for her, this woman appeared in my doorway, and she's wearing a long black lace dress, and she's got this black veil over her face, and she stops right in the center of my doorway and slowly turns her head and looks at me, and then slowly turns her head back down the hallway and keeps walking, and then I hear her go into my mother's room. For the longest time, I thought this woman was the reason that my mom did perish, but then, we had talked before about our family being separated. My older siblings went with their dad. Me and my little brother went with our dad, and then we got back together, and we're sharing all of our creepy paranormal stories that had happened, and my sister had seen her as well, and like you said, it was basically at the foot of her bed, and she's listening to her Michael Jackson record, and she turns around, and this woman is standing at the end of her bed, and my sister's like, "Who are you? What are you doing in my room?" And the lady told her, "Close and lock your window." And my sister, being a preteen at this point, continues to argue with her. I said, "Who are you? What are you doing in my room?" And she said again, "Close and lock your window." And my sister continued to argue with her, and then she used a really stern, serious voice and was like, "Close and lock your window." And so she did. She turned around and closed and locked it, turned back around, and the lady was gone. She told my mom about it, and my mom was like, "Just do what she said." We're living in Arkansas at this time, and it's really hot and humid during the summer, and of course we like the window open to keep us cool because we didn't have AC back then, but so we did. And the next day my mom went out, and there was actual footprints outside her window and some pry marks, like someone had tried to get into the window that night, which we used to live off this bend of a highway. So then when my sister shared that story with me, it made me realize this lady was not there to harm my mom. She was actually trying to protect us.
Right.
And that was pretty awesome.
I think she was giving you a warning of your mother's passing as well.
Mm-hmm.
By going to her room and kind of looking down the hall towards her room. But again, you as a child would never have put those two and two together. But a lot of the times, spirits are scary. But the ones that are scary because of what they're saying, like "go close your window," that's more of a shock scare,
mm-hmm.
not there's a monster in my closet scared. It's a little different type spirit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's really interesting. That's cool.
Yeah, and it was pretty strange. My mom, she actually came out to where I'm living now. I grew up in Cortez, Colorado from the age of Well, I was in 4th grade until I graduated, stuck around for a little bit, then joined the military. But Mesa Verde, she went to Denver first and visited Mount Evans because that was her last name, and she just had to go see that. And then they went to Mesa Verde, and she went down into one of these kivas, and she came upon 3 medicine men that were down there, and she had interrupted some sort of ceremony they were doing, which they weren't really there, but she was the spiritual side of me. She could see spirits, hear them, communicate with them, and she had made them angry because she came down and interrupted whatever ceremony they were doing. And from that point on, she felt like all the cars on the road were after her and basically white-knuckle driving the rest of the way home. She wrote my grandpa from Colorado to Arkansas and told him, just in case she didn't make it there, told him how she was going to die, when she thought it was going to happen, and she wanted him to help her plan her funeral. And I remember she got back and came to pick us up because we had stayed at our grandparents'. My older siblings, I believe, were with their dad. It was just me and my little brother at our grandparents', and he was really upset with her that she would even talk this way. And she's like, no, Dad, I'm serious. This is going to happen, and I need you to help me plan my funeral. And she even bought a casket before she was even gone. And he finally relented and was like, okay, I'll help you do this. And so it was interesting. I wonder if she had any encounter with this woman. I know she used to wake up with like hooded individuals around her bed and screaming, and just knowing that it was coming. I couldn't imagine knowing like when your time is going to come. I think I would just stay in bed and not go anywhere, you know.
I always predicted myself at 42 I was going to be in a wheelchair, and that I wouldn't be able to walk. Well, I had both my hips operated on when I was 42, and I was in a wheelchair. So kind of strange where, okay, I thought, okay, this meant I would be crippled. But at that point, I was crippled. I had 2 new hips, and I wasn't able to walk. So it was kind of interesting. Now, I've always felt that I will die of a heart attack. I don't see myself being too old. And I try not to really go into that too much with myself because I have been so accurate with everything. But yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones where, well, I guess not so lucky. I can't see spirits. I feel them. So, although I would love to be able to have that ability to be able to see them, but I guess that's also a curse as well, you know?
Yeah, it is kind of scary, like you were saying, when you're a kid, you know, just seeing this thing that shouldn't be there, and I think it's really just a fear of the unknown. My kids are all gifted as well, and they can see spirits. My 14-year-old, she could not only see them, she could feel what they're feeling. But before I go any further with that one, we had a question from Robin, and he was asking about your experience when you were in the hospital. Did you see spirits, or you just said you don't see them?
I don't see them. I know they're there, but I don't see them. Where was that one? Yeah, no, I know they're there. I can see sort of faint outlines of spirit guides. Kind of a dusty type figure. Cloudy, per se. But to walk into a place that has a demonic, I can't see them. I can just feel where they are and kind of track them psychically, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Well, Well, my experience in hospitals, I've never liked hospitals. I try, however I may, not to go to the hospital. And that's kind of backfired on me a couple times. But there was a time when my father was really, really sick. He had hepatitis C and cirrhosis of the liver. And this is one of the times that he was about to die. And so I'd take my kids down there every once in a while to go see him. And one of the times we had to go and get some medical records. So we went to a part of the hospital that was now basically closed down except for an office way, way back. Like, I can't believe how far we had to walk to get to this place. But along the way, you'd see wheelchairs in the hallway and different things like that. And my daughter would just, like, clench really tight and raise her legs up. And there's a broken man in that wheelchair, which there was nobody in that wheelchair, but she could see him. And she had also mentioned things. There was this lady reaching through the wall and touching her hair, and people reaching out of the floor trying to grab her feet. And so she was really freaked out. And to know now, you know, as she's 14, that she could not only see them, she could feel what they're feeling, and I could just imagine what she was feeling at that moment, feeling all of their struggles and pain and hardships. And
must have been hard.
Yeah, and she was only about, like, 2, maybe 3 years old at this point, and she was scared for her life, and, Mom, tell that lady to quit touching my hair. And it was pretty interesting, and, you know, I can't always see them. There are only times that I can, and you know, it just really intrigues me, their gifts and things they're able to see. And I've tried to explain to her through her life, and to my younger kids as well, don't be afraid of them, because we're all going to be spirits someday.
Your younger daughter has massive energy. She is going to be strong. I don't know what field she'll get into, but she is going to be a really strong energy. She's going to be a very, very strong medium, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I know she's been having a hard time being a teenager and struggling with bullying at school and whatnot, but I mean, I just wish I knew how to help her encompass her gifts. And I've been talking to someone recently that's going to connect us with a psychic or a medium that can help her figure these things out, because I know being a teenager in the first place is really, really hard, but then having these gifts on top of it, like, I can just imagine all the emotional turmoil she's really going through.
She has all the power. She needs to demand her space, and she can tell them to leave. She has all that control. And at this point, she doesn't need any of the paranormal, right? She doesn't need these abilities. She's going to have them forever. They're not going to go away. They may get, you know, a little more laxed and a little more less frequent, but really that's what she needs right now, right? So definitely teaching her how to ground herself and how to demand her space would be really good.
Yeah, that's very helpful.
Is there anyone that has any questions that are online, or can you see anybody?
Yeah, I've been looking in the different chats. The last one I saw was about the hospital, if you were able to see spirits there. I haven't received any just yet. It got really quiet. I think everybody's just listening. But that brings me to my next question. As you were growing up, did you find that there was a point in your life where you kind of did have a break from these gifts and from these different things coming through?
Yes. I moved around a lot. Let's say, what was be 20-some different group homes in 7 years. So there was never any point where I was able to just let my guard down. So not until I was 18, 19 was I more relaxed and able to, I guess, not be blocked with emotions, which then allowed the other abilities to show up.
Yeah, I found that, and I don't know if it had anything to do with being baptized, but throughout my life I was always seeking knowledge of the spiritual realm, and after my mom passed, I was going to all kinds of different churches with different people, mostly the ladies from the daycare that we'd go to after school because my dad was working. They'd take us to church, and I was just looking for this knowledge. Well, when my dad left us with our grandparents, we went for a visit, but it turned out he was just leaving us there because he was going through so much losing my mom. He didn't feel like he could take care of us properly, and so then my grandparents, my little brother was a real handful, and so they decided to hand us over to our aunt and uncle, which my aunt, she just adopted me this last year, so she's my mama, but we got into the LDS religion, aka Mormons for people that don't know, and I ended up getting baptized about the age of 8, and it seemed like there was a lull in activity and all kinds of things from the age of 8 to about the age of 12 or 13. And even though things weren't happening, I was still anticipating it every night and looking for it and waiting for something to happen, which never did until, again, I turned 13, and it was pretty strange having that lull in time where I really wasn't experiencing anything paranormal or having anything happen. It was kind of nice, but like I said, I still anticipated it, so I still had issues sleeping at night. Just thinking something was going to happen, because it generally would. But yeah, I had a good, 5-year break there. So that was interesting, and I find a lot of people do have that little reprieve from things happening in their life.
It's weird, how that, I've from just stories from people, it's almost for women, it is that 8 to 12, 8 to 13, probably entering the puberty and then hormones and just brain functions, everything changing, where guys seem to be a little more later, where they kind of lose their abilities around 8-ish and not show up until they're, 17, 18, 19, 20s and later on. It just seems to be weird that way.
Yeah, for me, it started again, I would run everywhere. I'd run to the store, I'd run to school, and I was coming back from the store one evening, and I kept feeling something behind me, and I'd look and I'd see these shadows darting in and out of the bushes or, yards or whatever, wherever I was, and I would hear someone calling my name, and I think it was my mom. As I think back on the voice, it was my mom calling me forward, trying to get me away from these things. Have you ever had that happen where you hear your name being called, and do you know who it is when they do?
Yes, I'll say yes. But I don't hear it out loud like I hear it in my head. Yes. But it is definitely in my head. It's sort of like that, the angel on the shoulder type idea,
Mm-hmm.
What was your question? I'm all over here.
Oh, well, I was just asking.
Other things coming to me here.
Yeah, I was just asking if you had heard a voice calling your name. Did you, even though you hear it in your head, did you recognize it as someone, or does it come through as your own voice? How does that work?
I never thought of it that way. Make me think now. I know I've definitely heard my father's voice, but I think the rest of the voices are actually me kind of telling myself what is being said.
Yeah, it's funny because, I do get messages and hear the voices in my head, but it always generally seems to be my voice. And so I'm like, is this someone talking to me? Or is it just me picking up on triggers, and so it's coming through as my voice? And it's kind of confusing.
Yeah, I try not to put too much credence on how it sounds and just what they're saying itself.
So do you ever find that you're near someone and you have a message come through? Do you
always
share that message with them?
A lot of the times I will. It's hard. I had a lady here today. I've been talking to her for the past 3 days. My readings normally aren't just an hour. They could last a week. I really will put all my time into it. So I was talking to her yesterday, and she messaged me today asking me if her husband is fooling around on her. And I try not to get into those type of readings.
Yeah.
Because, I don't want to give them bad news, and I don't want to be the reason they end a relationship or anything. But really, I just kind of let the lady know that she already knew. And she wouldn't be asking the questions if she didn't already know the answers to them. And to find out, a couple hours later, he fessed up, and, he has been. So I'm sure there are going to be more things happening in that relationship. Mm-hmm. But, I find it pretty hard. Another lady was yesterday. She was asking me about her children, but really the reading, she needed the reading. It wasn't her kids that needed the reading, and it had to do with her health. And one of her children is, I guess a woman with children now. And she plays, if you don't do what I say, you won't be able to see your kids or your grandkids. And I said, well, that relationship's not going to change, but you need to go see the doctor. And I said, you need blood work. You need to make sure you do this. And I didn't let them know that I could predict death, but if she doesn't do what I told her to do, things are going to move really, really quickly for her. And it's a shame, but I can't just say you're going to die in 3 months. It sounds ludicrous. Mm-hmm. And two, who am I to put that on somebody? And there, in fact, I feel horrible, knowing that I'm able to do this and to see these things and not be able to warn them. Or how do you warn somebody, in that case? What do you say? Can't just call them up and say, hey, bud, you're going to die tomorrow, So I really find that ability really, really hard, because it's something I kind of have to hold in with myself and not share. And another side to that ability is I cannot see my loved ones that way. So when my wife got sick, I did not see it coming at all. And I believe it was just I was too close to the situation.
Yeah. Kind of put yourself into a sort of denial or whatnot.
Well, yeah, and I just couldn't see it. And out of all the ones I wanted to see, that would have been the one, Mm-hmm. okay, we need to get you to the hospital, get this figured out and worked on. And she is in recovery. Everything worked out. So that's excellent, but it would have been nice to have gotten my heads up a little sooner.
Yeah, that would have been
Usual.
good. Well, I'm so glad that she is in recovery and she's doing better. That's good news.
Definitely.
Mooney in the chat room was asking, Craig, what is your process for clearing an unwanted spirit out of a home?
Holy, that's an easy question. Okay. First, I'm not the only one that does this. So when we come across a demonic case or an evil entity, there's a priest that works with us. Name's Plato Angelicus, if you can believe it. And he works alongside me getting rid of these spirits. So first would be on his side would be the holy water, the salt. Salt would go on every window all around the room, any thresholds, closets. Oil would go on bedposts, door frames, above doors, and you would work your way through the house, pushing that entity out of the house. What I'm able to do is, for me, is I find them, and he blocks them. And we actually had, it was interesting, we were doing a case here, which it was a house, and they were doing renovations in the basement. And I had kind of tracked the entity to the basement to this one corner, and ended up going upstairs, calling the priest down and saying, okay, this is where he is. So he kind of did a little, barrier of salt, and kind of that's where we exorcised him, was right there, and we got rid of him. And another thing for me is I didn't believe in God. Like, I believed in God, but I didn't have proof. And I'm very much a guy that needs proof. Throughout the 10 years of doing the paranormal, I got my proof. I don't know how the prayers work, but they do. I just don't get it. But I know they do work, and that's had given me more of a closer bond with a higher power. And I choose to call it God. So, yeah, it really is conviction. When I come across a spirit like that, I demand it to leave. It's not, will you leave, can you leave, should you leave? You're leaving, because I just told you to. God told you to, I told you to, now just beat it. And I probably have a few more choice words in there, but I'm very, very blunt and very, very forceful, just as forceful as they are when it comes to the homeowners or who they're affecting. And conviction is everything. And I'm sure if you believed in a bar of soap strong enough, that would work. Maybe not a bar of soap, but you know what I mean here.
Yeah.
Conviction is huge, and if you don't believe that you're able to get rid of a spirit, then you won't be able to get rid of that spirit. You have to believe 110%. The power of the mind is massive and strong, and there's obviously so many energies around us that we just don't, that we can't see. But there are a lot of us that can feel those energies, so there's got to be some truth to it, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I was just talking about this on the show last night, how the mind is a powerful thing, and there was this guy in church called Brother Rankin, we'd refer to him as the stropey-legged scallywag, but he would often say, your mind is a powerful thing and you need to learn to control your thoughts. And a lot of people are like, that's impossible, which it's not. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. And, I found different things to happen because of my thought process, and then it actually happens. And it is important to control your thoughts. And like you said, conviction, or as other people would say, your faith is very important. You have to have that conviction or faith in something, especially when it comes to protecting yourself and others around you. And the mind is a powerful thing. It's pretty amazing.
Definitely.
I have another question here in the chat room, but we're going to go to break here in about 30 seconds. So when we get back, I'm going to ask Nikki's question, and then we'll continue on from there. But tonight, just letting our listeners know, we're talking to Craig S. Leafloor, and he's been kind enough to join us tonight and help us out with some spiritual stuff and to do some readings, hopefully here in the third hour or whenever he'd like to get to that. But on that note, you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Looking for nighttime adventure? Old school radio that delves into everything out of the norm? Then check us out at Spaced Out Radio. This is Dave Scott. Every Monday through Friday, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, we're going to take you on a wild ride ranging from conspiracies to true crime and every ghost, alien, and Sasquatch story in between. We're always live, and we're always interactive with you. So join us at spacedoutradio.com, where together, we own the night.
Hey, guess what? You can now get your brand new Spaced Out Radio swag at spacedoutradio.com. We've brought the store back with all new items for you to pick out and pick up for yourself, your family, or friends. T-shirts, hoodies, hats, we got it all. All you have to do is head to our website and click on Store. Choose what you want and it's shipped to you. The Spaced Out Radio store is right there for you. Come shop with us at spacedoutradio.com. Then we can own the night together.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
On the first Tuesday of every month, I encourage you to come along for a journey with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You. Together, we will take a look at how to access the highest expression of yourself and change your life. Consciousness, ET contact, health, and wellness, we can talk about it all. So come along for a spiritual ride with me, Geraldine Orozco, on The Spiritual You, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Coming soon to our website, spacedoutradio.com, is the SOR Space Travelers Club. For just $5 a month, you can get into a private area on our site where you can hang with other listeners in our chat room, post in our forum, and check out a bunch of exclusive content and store that won't be found anywhere else, including a nightly after-show party with Dave. It's going to be the best $5 a month you're going to spend. The SOR Space Travelers, only at spacedoutradio.com.
At spacedoutradio.com, we have a little bit of everything for you to stay up late. So while you're there, check out our SOR Newswire, where our team brings you stories of the weird and strange to the WTF from around the globe. News on Bigfoot, UFOs, paranormal, Darwinian-type crime tales. It's the stories that the mainstream media usually won't touch. Well, we got them all on the SOR Newswire, only at spacedoutradio.com. If you're heading to Vancouver, make sure you stop by the official bar of Spaced Out Radio, the Moose Vancouver. It's the place to party in YVR at the corner of Nelson and Granville. The Moose Vancouver is always up to speed with a kitchen staff that serves great food. All food on the menu, $6.95 to $8.95. There's a reason the Moose Vancouver is recognized as one of the hottest spots on the West Coast. Get your horns up for the Moose Vancouver.
Hey, this is Canadian Paranormal Investigator Mike Moore. The third Wednesday of every month, I'll be teaming up with Dave Scott to bring you Ghosts of the Great White North. Each month, we will bring on guests from across Canada to discuss their ghostly encounters. Canada is a paranormal hotbed with stories you've never heard, so we're going to bring them to you. So get comfy on your Chesterfield, grab a donut, and join us, eh?
A timepiece is a reflection of who you are, and what better way to show off the real you than with an Escape watch? Escape is a lifestyle brand accessorizing your days and nights. Choose to escape and create the life of discovery that you deserve. Dream, play, unite with your own personalized Escape watch. Head to escapewatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
We're bringing scientific thought to the paranormal. Hi there, this is Spaced Out Radio scientist Chris Cogswell. Join me, Chris Zuger, and Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month, where we break down the who from the woo when it comes to everything paranormal. We'll investigate and try to bring sensible answers to those straight and sometimes outlandish questions people have. Hey, not everything has an answer, but we'll do our best. Listen in to Reality Paranormal only on Spaced Out Radio.
Hello, this is your guitar man Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and I have to tell you, I love the response I get for Little Brother is Watching from Spaced Out Radio fans. It's amazing how music can inspire and make people think deeper about what's going on in the supernatural world. You can head over to my website, bumblefoot.com, to check out my music, my guitar workshops, my touring, even check out some of the hot sauces that I'm working on. And make sure you keep on listening, because with Spaced Out Radio, you know Little Brother is watching.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
You can follow Tessa on Twitter at TessaTNT, on our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio, and our website is spacedoutradio.com. Now, back to Spaced Out Weekend host, Tessa Nicole Thomas.
Hear the sound again, voices dancing in my head, smile wide, drowning slowly as the echoes rise.
Hey guys, welcome back and thanks so much for joining us tonight. Tonight we have Craig S. Leafloor, and he's a sensitive medium empath. Thanks so much for joining us, Craig. It's been great having you.
So we're talking about Spirit at My Place here and how the kids get freaked out and they hear me do readings on the phone and, you know, talking to other people, and they really just don't know how to deal with it, And although both of them have seen the lady on top of the stairs, you know, for the most part, they still fall asleep in our bed. And then we put them to bed once they fall asleep. But, yeah, they're very scared with what that does, that's for sure.
Yeah, and you said that's actually a spirit that you did see.
Yeah, I forgot about her. Yeah, she's dark hair, white dress, kind of a veil, or not a veil, but like almost like a cleaning hat or a servant hat, but more of a mother's hat from the 1800s. And she... part of where I live was part of the underground. So slavery from the U.S. would come through Lanark, and she had one of them that actually worked at the house here, and he passed away in the garage. So when I go into the garage, you always hear noises, and you actually hear horses. It used to be a horse stable, and you would hear the horses kick their hooves and neigh.
Wow.
So my kids do not go into that garage by themselves, period. They just don't do it.
Yeah.
Too
creepy.
Yeah, the dirt bike's in the garage, go get it. No, I think I'll just wait for it out here. Thank you very much. It's kind of, I find it amusing. They don't.
Yeah. To them, it's way too scary.
Yeah.
That's interesting. That's so cool. Our house is very haunted as well. One of the ghosts here is a guy named John that had passed away from emphysema, and he's a really nice guy. He doesn't cause any chaos or anything. He scared the kids a couple times just because they're like, what the heck is that, you know? He appeared to them one night. We were doing an investigation in Pagosa Springs, and he appeared. And he was very tall, and he was standing right next to the lamp where my daughter was sleeping on the couch. She refused to sleep in her room, and she got up to go to the bathroom, and she was coming back to where she was sleeping, and you know, stopped and then walked backwards and then ran to her sister's room and was like, there's somebody out there. And he was standing under a white sheet, and people think that's weird. Like, why would they appear like that? But sometimes they do, maybe to get a rise out of you. But my other daughter didn't want to look, and she had a friend over, and she looked, and she's like, oh my gosh, something is out there. So we had our friend and mechanic Dennis go in there and look around the house, and he ended up staying the night with the kids because they were so freaked out. But he didn't see anything, and he's like, well, maybe it was the rug or whatever. And because we had one kind of propped against the wall, but it was much shorter than this figure that she had seen, but it really, really freaked them out.
Yeah.
There's a couple others that have come in. I don't know if just because of us being some sort of magnet to the paranormal,
totally.
and they
totally.
know that, you know, they can come here and we'll get something done for them or some sort of message. And so we have...
Once one knows, they all know.
Yeah.
It almost becomes a beacon.
Yeah, they just spread the word, and they're like, hey, over here. So
they can hear us. Let's go there.
Yeah. So we've had a few not so nice ones and a few not so bad, but yeah, it's pretty active house, and yeah, the kids, like I was saying earlier, I was in bed most of the day because I stayed up too late on the after party, but the kids came in and they're, we're scared. We could hear somebody in there, and when's Dad gonna be back? I'm like, that's fine. Just come hang out with me. It'll be all good. But yeah, I was talking about Nikki. She had a question, and when we were talking about, you know, someone calling your name, she's like, what about receiving names but not receiving a message?
I really don't get names. Like I have, but I've never been able to. Oh, it's John. And I really dislike that because I want to be able to say, okay, it is Catherine that's coming through. And I don't get that. So no, I don't get names. Very rare. I can sometimes predict, you know, like the first letter, and we were doing the psychic fair, and there was a guy up there that was a medium, and one of the girls asked him, well, what did my dad used to call me? And he couldn't, he just couldn't get anything. And I eventually said, your name's Boo. And I was sitting behind her, and she just like lost her shit, started crying, and it was it didn't turn out well. But it was interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. And then we also got our first caller, and it's area code 425. Sir Robin, you had a question for Craig?
clear my throat. Yes, so my house, I live in a 1920s house, and so I am able to, so I believe my house is haunted because at first, my door is, my parents' bedroom door has, been shaking years ago, whether it's windy or not, but it's, not violently, but it is stopped now, and now I have been able to see, spirits, walk through my house. I mean, they're not like shadow people, but they're more, they're more like grayish, like, and these, walk through my house, like, if they're alive, they don't, like, pay attention to me. And there was, one night, this is when my bedroom is down in the basement, and, I almost, made it all the way down, and I had this thing that was, attacking. It was just a specter, and really frightened me. And then I was told that there was we have this big door that you can open up and it goes to the outside, and that there's an energy field there, field for spirits go through, and so, and just any spirits by I think that was by by another guest that Tessa had. So, and there's one night where I believe I also saw, you've heard of the Hat Man, right? And I think I saw the Hat Man for a couple of seconds, so he went away.
Yep, he's it's more of an entity, not a demon, but he's under the legions, and he's a soul collector. But he's here, he's everywhere. But he can be a nasty one to deal with.
So I guess my question is that if I ended up getting a gift if I'm a medium or a medium psychic or just a psychic.
So is that your question? If you are a medium or a psychic?
Yeah. Because I'm able to see these things.
Then yes, you would be a medium. Do you feel them? Like, do you feel their emotions, their energies, that kind of stuff? Or do you just see them?
Yeah, I am able to feel them too.
Okay, so you would be what we would call a medium empath.
Okay.
And just remember that if you ever do feel uncomfortable, just demand your space. All negative energies hate light, hate love, and hate it if you don't fear them. If you have those three things, you can demand them to leave. They have to leave.
Okay.
They don't have a choice. Sometimes you have to bring in St. Michael, the Archangel, and ask him and God to help you. And St. Michael, they hate him. They really, really, really dislike that guy. And anytime I go into a demonic case, that's who I bring with me.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem.
Thanks so much, Sir Robin. Have a good night.
That's what I need.
Nice.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, he's been telling me about different stuff going on there. He's got a pretty active place as well.
I'd love to be there.
Yeah, I find...
Yeah, I hear you.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Lately, I've been doing a lot of readings on through Facebook and stuff, and I get these calls where people are just saying my place is so active. Actually, there's one lady, young girl with her. She has a 3-year-old, and she has a portal in her house, which just keeps bringing in these, I would say, lost or trapped spirits. And she's having a real hard time, but she's 10 hours away, which ain't too bad, but she's still 10 hours away. And she wants to get rid of these spirits in her home, but really she has the power to do this. And the one thing is doubt. They try to put doubt in our heads, and she is afraid of trying to get rid of this entity, and maybe not doing it the right way and making things worse. So it would be nice just to be able to hop through the phone and go straight to her house and do everybody's place,
Yeah, and it is true, like, we'll go and help people clear their house, but we always tell them, you are the one with the ultimate power here. This is your home, and you need to put your foot down, and, you do have to have that faith in yourself that you do have that power, because it is so important, and self-doubt can really get in the way. And like you said, they like to try to make you think you don't have the power and to make you have that self-doubt, and it can get complicated, but you just got to reassure yourself that you do have the power to do that and are able to clear your house on your own. Sometimes it just takes a little finagling and teaching them that this is how you can do it, and faith in yourself and the power that you have is of the utmost importance.
I've been thinking of trying to do it through FaceTime as well, and just to have them bring me through their house while they're doing it, and then I'm able to do it with them.
Mm-hmm.
That might just give them that extra confidence to be able to do it themselves. But we'll see how that plays out. I'm probably going to do it and hopefully have that work out.
All right. We have another caller from area code 206. Who are we talking to?
Hi, this is Nikki.
Hi, how's it going, Nikki?
Hi, Nikki.
All right. Hey, Craig. I have a question, and I don't know if my phone is cutting in or out, so I apologize ahead of time. I would like to know if a friend of mine is still alive, and I cannot say his name on air, but because of who he is and what he does. So, but I have received a message via something that I typically receive from Spirit, and I just realized that the message very possibly could have been from him. And I'm kind of hoping it's not. Because if it's from him, then he's on the other side.
When you asked me that question, I did not get a positive vibe. I got that
Oh, I'd like to say
dreading kind of thing. I'm sorry.
No, Can you tell how he passed?
Is he in the Army? Or law enforcement type?
Military, yes.
Military, okay.
Is all I can say.
Yep, that's fine. I'm gonna say IUD. Or no, that's not it, eh?
Say it again, I missed it.
So, IED, maybe?
Like an explosive?
That would make
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
He told me how he would probably die. He had 3 different hits out on him from 3 different countries.
So, okay.
So
I won't tell you what.
It was. He told me a number of different possibilities.
Well, yeah. I'm trying to keep that confidence as well without saying anything either.
Yeah. I don't want to know who, but I did want to know how.
Well, I'm sorry, Nikki.
So my other question then leads into, is his family okay?
They will be. I don't think they know yet.
Okay.
But
how recent do you think?
Last week.
Yeah, I was getting like within the last few weeks, like less than a month, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Definitely less than a month. I would say between 1 and 2.
Yeah. All right.
So sorry, Nikki.
Well, crumb.
But he's always there.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is talk to him.
Oh, this I know. If he's sending me messages like he is, I'm getting very direct messages. I get messages from Spirit now via music, and like when I'm just starting to go to sleep, I get the loudest music blazing in my head, and I'm like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. You really need me to look that up right now. Seriously? I'm trying to go to sleep. Really?
They pick the best times, eh?
Yeah, and I got one that was very well worded. And I went, oh, man, the only person that I know this one specific word would be this one person. Oh, man, I need to ask. So thank you for the confirmation.
Again, sorry, Nick.
He was a real sweetheart. No, thank you. He was a real sweetheart of a person. I mean, give you the shirt off his back if he could.
He'll always be around you, that's for sure.
Yeah. We had a heck of a connection.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I'm sorry
That
to
really
hear
bites.
that. Yeah.
Well, I've got to put his family in my prayers.
Definitely. And I will as
Because
well.
if they don't know yet, yeah, that's not going to be good for them.
What...
And I knew him by one name, they knew him by another, and he had numerous different aliases. So, wow. Well, thank you for the confirmation.
You're welcome.
He always told me that if he'd come look me up. And thank you for what you do.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. Yep. And on that note,
Well, my prayer,
because I've got a lot of other questions, but I'm sure there are other people. So.
It's all good.
Yeah, we have time, and we actually
take good care of yourself.
You're the only one on the line right now, but that's not to say somebody's going to try to call in here in a little bit. So if there was another or question that you had, please feel free to ask.
Yeah, how did you deal with, oh gosh, let's see, I had one about walking through hospitals. You talked about, somebody maybe talked about it in the chat room. Anyway, I end up getting really sick from like being energy drained, and I walk in thinking everything's going to be fine. But in the last 4 years, it's mostly because my mom's been in and out of the hospital a lot. But it never seems to fail now. Especially since I've allowed my abilities to open up a lot more. I think I do pretty good at like trying to protect myself walking into hospitals, but it never ceases to fail. Within 1 or 2 days afterwards, I am flat in bed, and I know that it's worse than an energy vampire for what I call an energy vampire. But how do you yourself deal with walking into, doesn't matter if it's a hospital, doesn't matter if it's a graveyard, or if it's, because spirit is always there. They're always there. But how do you yourself deal with that kind of stuff?
Really, I don't know. Being a highly sensitive empath, my energy gets drained because of that. I don't find I get drained going into homes or going into paranormal places. I mainly get drained by feeling other people's energies. And really, I haven't been able to find a way to stop that.
I've been consistently told deeper meditation, more daily meditation, but everybody deals with it differently, so that's why I ask, because I'm still in the learning process.
I'm just starting to do the meditation, and I'm studying to be a Reiki master. So with that, I know I'll learn a lot more. Because really, the only meditation I really do is grounding myself and doing a protection on myself. Other than that, I don't really.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Do you also use gemstones?
Yes, I do have my crystals. I really like my pendulum. No, I work with that a lot, and that's more with my healing abilities. But I haven't gotten into really doing the Reiki completely, so I'm kind of new at that one.
I commend you on that. That is not an easy thing to do. I know some people that do it, that it just comes to them like a breeze. I'm like, how?
Yeah.
I'm like, explain that to me, please, because that is such a cool thing to be able to do. I did have another question about, you were talking about having a priest work with you. How did you,
how did we get to him?
Is manage to work with, how did you find him? And how did, because he's a priest, I'm assuming he's with the church, how did they deal with the permission side of it? Because I know that can be pretty difficult to deal with.
Yes, he's part of the Archdiocese through Mexico. Now, I don't know if that's different. Like, it must be different because the Catholic religion is very hard to deal with when it comes to the demonic cases. So he got his priesthood through Mexico. I guess he lived there for a while. He actually is a nurse, and he flies helicopters, or is part of the helicopter fleet, where they'll take him to wherever the case is, and he is the kind of doctor in between the, let's say, a mountain and the hospital. I'll have to ask him how he actually got into the priesthood, but from my understanding is he did it through Mexico, and he's part of the Holy Order. It's on Facebook, Holy Order, and my partner with OPRI is John Moore, and he's a demonologist in his own right, and he found Plato, and he's just been a great help with those demonic cases for sure.
That is really cool. Thank you for explaining that.
Well, thanks so much for calling in, Nikki. It was great having you.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thanks, Tessa.
All right, bye-bye.
Thanks a lot, Craig.
You're welcome.
We'll see you in.
All right, we got another caller here from an unknown number. Who are we talking to?
This is Corrine.
Hey, Corrine, how's it going?
Hello. Okay, how are you, Tessa?
Good. So great to hear you. Hear your voice.
Me too. Me too. So I wondered if I could get a reading from the guest.
Okay, just give me a couple minutes here, a couple secs.
Sure.
Is there anything in particular you want to know?
Maybe about my love life, if you have anything that you're picking up.
Well, if you put this on Facebook, I'm sure you'll get a couple friend requests.
What do you mean?
Well, now that there's probably hundreds of people watching this, so everybody's going to be wondering where you're from and want your number.
Okay.
Might be a little creepy.
I mean, I don't know what you mean. Yeah, I feel a little freaky cold. But so is that the only thing you got to tell me about my love life?
It's going to happen when you don't want it to.
Okay.
You are single now, right?
Okay, I didn't hear that.
He said you are single now, right?
I'm sorry, Tessa, I'm having a hard time. This connection's pretty bad. Can you say that again?
He said you are single, right? You're single?
I am single, yeah. Yeah.
say is that the harder you look, the longer you'll wait.
Okay, I haven't been looking hard at all.
Good, and should be coming right around the corner.
Okay. So, Craig, do you have anything to say psychically to me right now?
Just keep doing what you're doing. I think you're on the right career path. And I also think you're doing what you're supposed to be doing right now.
Well, I think so too. Thank you for that. I have a friend, Jenny, that I think wants a reading also that's online with me right now. Jenny?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
How you doing, Craig?
Sorry?
She said, how are you doing, Chris? Or Craig?
I'm doing great.
Craig. Awesome. Can you do you just do general readings? Is there anything you can tell me?
There's a lot coming through.
You want me to narrow it down for you? I'm sorry.
You go to the gym a lot?
Not at a gym, but I do exercise at home.
Okay. Are you going to school to learn about that?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm not picking up a lot, Jen. Where are you from?
He asked where you're from.
Oh, New York.
New York?
New York, yes.
And you two are very close?
Who, me and Kareem?
Yeah.
Yes. I love her.
I'm pretty sure you guys are going to introduce each other to your significant others.
Well, that's good to know.
Does that make sense?
Well,
halfway. I mean, she already knows my husband, so.
Well, there you go.
Let me reintroduce. Yeah.
But I'll introduce her to somebody. Is that?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'd love to do that. A good quality guy, right?
Well, even just a guy would be good, right?
No, I wouldn't do that to her. No, she's not that.
No,
she's a gorgeous, talented person. There's no.
That's for sure.
Really, Craig. Oh. Craig, can I tell you a couple things that I'm picking up for you?
Sure.
Your mother. is your mom is on this side, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So she's feeling like you don't contact her enough or something. There's some disconnect there, and I'm not sure why, but would you think about maybe reaching out to her more than you do now?
Well, that's a hard one. Yeah, we don't have really a good relationship. I wouldn't, she's not on my top 10 list. But I have been trying a little more lately to have somewhat of a better relationship with her.
Good. That's going to be important, Craig, in the coming months. This year, it's going to be important in some ways. I can't really tell you exactly how, but it's going to be important to you that you do that. Also, there's some kind of like, because when I look at you, I'm like focusing on your heart, and I'm looking past you, and I see a man, and I think it was your mother's brother, an uncle that has passed on, and I'm not positive about this, but I get the name Ted or Theodore or something, and that you did have a connection with him that was that was special in a way. I'm not sure what his name was. I just get a T name, Ted or something, and that he is actually influencing you in the best way he can toward you connecting more with your mom, because your mom kind of needs somebody, especially her son right now. And also, there's a project that you want to do that you're like, I don't know, I don't know if it's going to work out. But go ahead with this, because you have really good ideas about something that you want to take, forward, and I think it has to do with, it definitely has to do with communication to some degree, but also there's some art, something to do with art in it also, and I'm not sure, like, I almost want to say you're building a tarot deck or something like that. I'm not sure, but this idea, you must go forward with it, because it's a good idea, and I see color around it, which means it's going to be successful. So I don't know if that makes sense to you.
Okay. I'm not much of an artist. I probably couldn't draw a straight line if I tried. But there is definitely some things I want to move forward with. And, of course, self-doubt is huge. And never feeling like you're good enough, right? Or if you're ever going to be able to do it, or, you always doubt yourself.
You are good enough. We are good enough. We got,
And you're bang on about my mom. And her brother did just pass away last year. And we got close in the hospital. He was there when my wife was. So I would jump back room to room there and try and help him out. So yeah. So I'll definitely try and reach out a little more often to her as well.
Yeah, good, okay. Well, thank you so much, Craig, and thank you, Tessa.
Thank you, Corrine. It was so wonderful hearing from you.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll keep listening, you guys. You're doing a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You gals have a good night.
You too.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Somehow I think they're going to have a great night.
For sure. Okay, let's see. We have another caller on the line. Actually had to answer them on the other computer, but hold on one second.
Uh-oh.
Are you back?
You're calling that number back again. Oh, shit.
All right.
They just wanted to talk to us longer.
All right, so we have a call from a 402 number. Who are we talking to?
Hi.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Sharon.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I'm hanging in there. Thought I'd get a reading. Since everything's changing so much. Can you hear me?
Yes. He looks like he's
Okay.
pondering on it.
I am.
Okay. Are you? Yeah.
You got to take time for yourself here. You seem to be bombarded by a lot of outside influences here,
Yeah.
and you're a little overwhelmed.
Yes. Very true. A lot of changes.
They will turn out good.
Okay, that's good to hear.
They may not feel like it right
Yeah,
now.
because it's affecting my health now.
Sorry?
What, hon? What did you say?
Oh, I said the changes that are happening right now don't seem like they're good, but it will turn out to be the best thing for you.
Okay, so I will survive them?
You will survive it, honey.
Yeah.
It won't be fun.
To my health and everything. Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh boy. I would like good. A lot of misconceptions out there. Do you think the truth's going to come out?
It will eventually.
Oh. Yeah, because that's caused a real damper in my life. All the lies.
You just got to listen to your own intuition
It was
here.
relationships.
Yep.
Yeah,
I get that.
I tell you, I don't like what my intuition.
You don't like what? Sorry?
No, I really don't. My intuition is telling me, as far as people that I can trust, you know, people that are supposed to be my best friends, I'm picking up an ulterior agenda going on, and that's really bothering me.
Yeah. You're going to have to almost follow the ball. I'll explain what I mean. Kind of kick stuff out that way and to see what their reactions are going to be to these things. And that will give you your answer to if there is alternative motive. So you're going to kind of need to set a trap on these people, and the true color will shine through.
Yeah, it just sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done stuff, you know, best friend, and it just makes me sick. I want to be wrong, you know?
Yeah. intuition's usually right, though.
Yeah, but, I was hoping, sometimes, you can't read yourself. It's hard to read yourself, so I was, I don't know. Do you see anybody romantically in my life?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
But that will come. But
How
not
about
until
where I'll be?
not until all this chaos is over and done with.
Yeah. Where do you see me living?
As in a city, or?
Yeah, wherever. Not just the city, but I'm kind of in the flux right now.
Sorry, in
Flux.
I'm in a transition period.
Well, I don't think you're going to really make any move right now until you've figured out what is all going on around you. You really can't make that decision until you have all the answers. And I don't think you should make any decisions right now regarding that.
Yeah, because I'm not even in my home.
Yeah. I'd really, again, I would wait, figure out what is going on with some of your closer friends, that you seem to think there might be an alternative agenda. And so that's going to tell you everything.
Great.
Do I see you going back home? No. Do I see you thriving in your own place? Yes. But again, not until all this stuff's dealt with.
Okay, you said you don't see me going back home?
No, not right now. Definitely not. Not until you know. You need to feel comfortable about going back, and at this point, you don't feel comfortable either. So, putting yourself back into that situation is only going to cause more heartache.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
No.
I don't want to do that. But I'm not really sure where.
I would kind of put a little trap out there to those people that you feel that might have an alternative motive, and just see what happens. And then that'll give you all your answers.
Yeah, I guess if I find out that my gut is right, it's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely something going on. So, you're not wrong.
Yeah. I don't know what to do about it.
Do you want to do anything about it? Is it worth it?
I don't know. Huh? I'm really vulnerable right now, so it's very difficult. I'm hoping that'll change.
Yeah. Yeah, I would, like you said, you are vulnerable, right? And being vulnerable means our inhibitions are down, and we can easily get caught up into things that we wouldn't normally get caught up into, or relationships or people or situations. So just try to be strong and just see where all these chips fall.
Yeah. It seems like the people that want to help for the people, not all of them, but some of them are involved in this. So, I mean,
yeah,
I haven't done anything, but it's like I'm being set up.
Yeah. No, there's definitely there's more than one person involved into this. That's for sure.
And we got to go to break, so you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after these messages.
Heading to Vancouver and looking for a night on the town? The Moose Vancouver is the bar that never stops rocking until 2 a.m. every night. The Moose has great food with everything on the menu from $6.95 to $8.95. Fantastic, vibrant staff and rock and roll that will bring you back to when the music was real, the hair was long, and the guitars were rocking. Get your party on at the Moose Vancouver, the official party bar of Spaced Out Radio.
Get your horns up with me on Spaced Out Radio. This is Ron Bumblefoot Thal. Come tune in to SOR where you can hear me rock out with Little Brother Is Watching, the official theme song of Spaced Out Radio. And then come on over to bumblefoot.com where you can find out about my tour schedule, my music, and everything else. Bumblefoot.com keeps you up to date on what I'm doing and the best way to stay in touch with my music and music camps. Sign up for my newsletter at bumblefoot.com and remember, Little Brother Is Watching.
Looking for the stories of the strange and weird that you will find hard to find anywhere else? Check out the SOR Newswire on our website. Our writers, led by Captain Shirk, are scouring the world for the oddest and most bizarre stories we can find. Everything from weird crime to suspenseful and paranormal. We're working hard for you to bring you the most intriguing news of your day. Check out the SOR Newswire at spacedoutradio.com today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Hi there, this is Geraldine Orozco from San Francisco's Bay Area Meditation. I invite you to join me the first Tuesday of every month with Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's The Spiritual You. In this fast-paced world we live in, it's time for you to take some time for you. We'll cover every possible subject from powerful meditation to healing techniques to your own intuition and spirituality. So come join us for The Spiritual You.
The freedom to post what you want, when you want. That's the social media freedom you need. Social Media Freedom is the free app in your app store. No need to worry about going to jail or being shadow banned any longer. It's the freedom to say what you feel. The freedom to know Big Brother isn't watching. It's the way social media is supposed to be. Social Media Freedom. It's time to set yourself free. Download from your app store today.
You know, it's hard being the bad man of ufology, but that's just the way that I like it. This is Chris George Zuger, and I'll be hanging out with Dave Scott and SOR scientist Chris Cogswell for Reality Paranormal, the second Wednesday of every month. And our job is to break it down and come to conclusions as to what is really going on in the supernatural world. I'd love for you to join us right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Are you intrigued by paranormal talk radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
We are getting ready to relaunch the SOR Space Travelers Club at spacedoutradio.com. For $5 a month, you can join us for a plethora of features found nowhere else. Hang out in a private chat room during the show and after party. You can check out some exclusive content and a store specifically for you, as well as a private listener forum where you can post your thoughts, stories, and pictures. The SOR Space Travelers Club, coming soon to spacedoutradio.com.
Do you want to know what's really going on in your world? Do you have questions about who you can trust in the mainstream media? Then look no further than the Rebel Planet. Come get the straight answers right here at spacedoutradio.com. Join me, Jamie Sexton, creator of Rebel Planet News, as I fill you in on the stories behind the stories. All you truth seekers, be sure to tune in to Rebel Planet on spacedoutradio.com the third Thursday of every month.
Find your escape where time has no limits. It's about living today and cherishing the heritage of yesterday. A spirit of adventure for what is new, with the nostalgia of the past. Your timepiece is a reflection of who you are. Life surrounded by beauty from the world around us to the soul within. EscapeWatches.com. There is no time like the present to enjoy your escape. Use promo code SMF2017 for your 20% discount today.
Are you interested in advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Head to our website at spacedoutradio.com and click on our advertising tab. There, you will find an assortment of ways you can get your product out there with us, from radio commercials to banners and social media. Have a product you like our hosts to endorse? We can do that too. Visit spacedoutradio.com for more details.
Hi there, this is Dave Scott from Spaced Out Radio, and I want you to come on a nightly journey. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, every Monday through Friday, you can come hang out with me and the other space travelers. We have it all from Carl the Alien bouncing on by to those misfit gnomes causing havoc. It's 3 hours of fun and entertainment on those topics the mainstream really doesn't want to touch. Come get all paranormal with us at spacedoutradio.com, and together, my friends, along with our resident guitar god Bumblefoot, we own the night.
Sit back, relax, grab a drink, and listen closely. Spaced Out Radio continues through the weekend. From the mile-high mountains of Colorado to you, listening around the world, this is Spaced Out Weekend with Tessa N Thomas.
Sorry.
Say what?
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. We're here with Craig S. Leafloor, and we're still speaking with Susan.
So yes, you still have people that are on your side. But they're not. You need to
just
find somebody not in that circle.
Right. Yep.
If that makes sense
That's
to you.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. I don't know why. Especially since they took my house. I mean, what else do I have? Nothing.
You have you. And that's more important than anything else. You can always get another house.
Yeah. God willing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just surviving. I'm just so curious. I don't know why they did it.
Some people are just assholes.
You have me?
Huh?
Yeah, you're there, Chris. Just hold on 1 second, please.
Sure. Working. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. All right. Was there anything else, Sharon? I'm sorry.
No, honey, I just think it's hard to understand what he said when I said I just don't understand why they're doing it to me. I didn't do anything to anybody.
Some people are assholes. Like, it really boils down to that, right?
Uh-huh.
Some people just get their kicks of ruining other people's lives.
I guess so.
You know, and...
I hope they like it hot.
Huh.
They'll get it back tenfold.
Yeah, I know they will. I guess they don't think they will. That's what's scary. I tell you, I'd rather be me than them. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Yep.
That right there might be a big reason, because my face seems to be a real target.
Misery seems to always like misery.
What does?
Misery seems to like misery.
Right. Well, I don't need it, so.
Exactly. And that's what you got to think
Thank
of,
you
right?
so much.
You don't need it.
Right, I don't. I don't need it, I don't want it.
Nope.
It can happen.
Not at all.
And they get with the consequences.
Sorry?
Say again, he didn't hear that.
But, what, honey?
He didn't hear what you said, that last portion.
Oh, I said, I don't need it, I don't want it. And they can deal with the consequences.
That's right. Just think of you in this case, right? Because they don't matter in the end.
Right. Right. It's so sad. I just could not live that way. I couldn't pretend to be someone's friend and then stab them in the back.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
It's hard to understand, but it's not meant for us to understand, because then we'd have to, stoop down to their level.
Right. Yeah, I can't. I never knew any people like this before.
Well, hopefully you don't again.
Yeah. It goes away quickly.
Yeah. But things will turn around for you, that's for sure.
No, that's great. Thank you.
Alrighty.
Thanks for the positive.
Oh, no worries. Thanks so much for
Take
calling
care.
in.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Well, we got Christopher on the line. How's it going, Christopher?
Going all right. Skype has been a pain lately.
I know. This new update. Like, we're doing this for the betterment and the safety of all. And I'm like, I had no issues with my old version, but this new version really is a pain.
Do you have a question?
Right now it's being good. Anyway, I have a question, if I may.
Of course.
I was wondering if I'm going to be having surprises this year. I've noticed significant changes in energy around me.
I would say no. You do have a lot of energy around you, but there's not going to be any significant changes.
I'm happy to hear that. I've been doing some grounding and root work, and I wonder if I'm going the right direction with it. That's
you seem to
good
be,
to know.
that's for sure.
What?
It seems like you're doing the right things.
Yes. That's all I needed to know, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, Tess.
Thank you, Christopher. It was good to hear from you.
I will try to hang up.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Yeah, and I apologize to everybody about this whole Skype issue. It's been complicated, but I'm glad you guys are hanging in there and being patient. But we got Ron J on the line. Ron, did you have a question?
Oh, not yet.
Not yet. Okay. You ponder that.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm going to be behind here.
Okay, no worries. So yeah, we had like one after the other. Okay. I can imagine that would be difficult. Are you ready, Ron?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Chris. Hi, Ellen. Love. Hi, Sharon. Well, hey, Odie. And who did I miss on my list here? Hey, Jackie. Hi. Oh, and Susan. Hi.
Hello. So, did you have a question, Ron?
No.
No, just saying hi to everyone. Yeah, but what I was saying, Craig, like, I could see how it could be difficult doing multiple readings in a row, like, perhaps, clearing one out and starting with the next, and can be quite difficult, I could imagine.
It is. It is. It makes it a little more difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah, I know. I'd be like, okay, give me a second. Let me like wipe this from my mind and try to get this one started. And
yeah.
But like they were saying earlier, thank you so much for doing what you do and sharing your gift with us. And like you're saying, to help people is of the most importance, and for you to be able to do that for people is quite amazing.
Thank you. It's almost like speed dating.
Right? Next. Yeah, and with our old Skype, like, we could have multiple people on hold, and with this new one, I keep having to hang up on people so we don't interrupt the ongoing call, and then adding them back on, hopefully, if they're on my list, or calling back the number I missed. And
is that just new?
Yeah, it just forced it earlier this last week, and I even got a hold of them really early the other morning, and I'm like, hey, this isn't working, you're messing up my show, and, well, you could, like, put this person on hold and answer this call, but how can a psychic do a reading for someone if I have the psychic on hold and he can't hear what the next person is saying? So luckily I have 2 computers and a cell phone going on right now, which I have you on. So yeah, it's been pretty complicated and difficult, but I'm trying to trudge through it and get this thing going and keep it going, you know?
Yeah. Well, this is like I didn't even download Skype until yesterday or today when we were talking. This is the first time I've ever done it.
Yeah, I had to get on with the customer service lady, and Dave had given me a thing to upload, and it's supposed to fix this problem, but as soon as I uploaded the old version again, Skype pops in and is like, hey, you have to update this version. And so it was just like kind of like a dog chasing its tail, you know. It wasn't really working out, but
no.
So far so good. I've just been pointing the cell phone different directions and trying to get you through the mic and get you to be able to hear the person over here on the computer. And yeah, it's been pretty interesting to say the least.
Yeah, it's been a little difficult.
Yeah. So I apologize for that, but hopefully
it's all good.
They're like, here, go over here and make your suggestion, and within about 3 minutes of making my suggestion that they need to bring back this group call where I can take multiple calls and not lose anybody, hopefully, you know, more people have voted on it, and hopefully they'll get it back up and going. Because like my granny said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And, you know, they're like, well, we had multiple issues and complaints. And I'm like, I never had not one issue with this, but this new one is just BS-ery. And I can't believe you've done this.
Do we have anybody that needs healing?
That's a good question. Let me look over here in the chat room and see what we got going on. If anyone needs any healing, please be sure to let us know. I'm updating this. For some reason it didn't refresh to see what we got going on with our messages. Yeah, and it's not updating for the new show for some reason. I can only have so many over here. Let me look in this other one as well. Huh. Very interesting. Crazy things going on. And it's funny, have you found that, like we were talking about earlier with the world's largest ghost hunt, the technical difficulties with electronics when you got a lot of energy or paranormal stuff going on?
Yeah. See, that's one. I'm lucky. John, my partner, he does all the technical stuff because I can barely use my phone.
Right.
And yeah, I asked my wife to do everything for me. Well, how long did it take me to do the bio? That was almost an hour. I would write it down, I'd erase it, I'd write it down, I'd erase it. Yeah, it was crazy.
All right, well, let's see. I just answered this call. We got a call from area code 330. Who are we talking to?
This is Moonlit. How you doing tonight, Tessa?
Good. How are you, Mooney?
I'm doing great. And want to call a good show, guys. And I had a couple questions for Craig.
Shoot.
And shoot. Okay. The first one is these heads or tails.
Heads or tails.
And the second one is a number between 30. Yeah, heads or tails, and the second one is a number between 30 and 55. These mean something to me. So, you know, if you get a vibe from me, you know, anyways.
Okay, well, I'll go tails. And a number between what?
30 and 55.
37.
Okay, great. And the other one, can you give me the the time and date of my death. No, no, just a joke. But if you could, that'd be great. But
I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Tonight, I don't know about you guys, but it's awfully cold here. I do have, when you were talking about anybody needs healing, I have something called ankylosing spondylitis. My entire spine and the joints of my body, my spine especially, is the immune system of my body attacks the vertebrae, eating into it, and then the vertebrae, they try to grow. My spine is mostly fused together, and then the parts that aren't frozen are like broken, and I've got most of my 3 or 4 discs that are missing. Most of my spine is collapsed together and fused.
Wow.
My total neck is fused together. So I'm an excellent candidate for any kind of healing.
Okay. What I'll say is, if you're sitting down, put your palms up in front of you.
Okay. Okay.
And keep them there until you feel the heat of my hands. Can you feel an energy?
Somewhat.
Okay. I'm going to put my hands on your back. Do you feel the pressure on your backbone?
I've got so much pain all the way up and down my spine that it's hard for me to feel anything. And so I don't want to tell you that I don't feel anything. I feel spasms and everything right now.
Okay.
So very well could be feeling, in fact, probably am right now.
Well, I understand that it's definitely got to be painful.
my back was cracked.
Oh, nice.
Spot. I feel warmth in my neck now.
Well, I hope that helps you a little. I could do this for hours on you.
Yeah. I'm stiff right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like I've been pushed along. So, there's... It's not the same as me just sitting here.
Right.
Okay? We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how I feel in the morning.
Alrighty.
Okay, Greg? I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Thank you, Tessa.
Thanks for calling in, Mooney. I hope this helps.
The rest of the show. I do too. Thank you.
Thanks so much for
Bye-bye.
calling in. Bye.
Bye-bye. So let me explain a little bit of what I do there.
Okay.
I put my hands in front of me, and I allow my energy to flow to my palms, and I allow the heat and energy to leave my palms into the person, be it wherever or hurt. And I just continuously do that over and over again until that person is feeling better.
That's awesome. I could see, as I have you on Skype video, I could see you really focusing your energy there and really doing your best to try to help Mooney, and I really appreciate it. He was talking a week or so ago about this pain and how terrible it is and living with it and why is it happening and why is one of the big questions. Like it's really difficult to figure that out, and sometimes there really is no answer. But I hope that this helps him in even the smallest way, you know. I hope for a huge healing, but even if it helps in the smallest way to rid some of this pain, that would be amazing.
Yeah. So you talk to him a lot?
Yeah. He's one of my really good friends, and we do the Skype after party, and he's a really great guy. And I just hope that this really does help him out.
It was interesting when he said his back cracked. I had actually just like seconds previous, my hands are directly in front of me, so my thumbs are touching, and I pushed away from me to the outside of my shoulders, and then that's when he said my back cracked.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Interesting.
It's awesome when stuff, works as you intend it to.
And I find this part so weird because the energy through my hands isn't new, but me using that energy for healing has only been the past maybe 4 years. And it's interesting to have people verify that they do feel it, be it right in front of me or, you know, I've done this twice now today, and both times they've I guess agreed or felt that energy. So I love it. I like that.
It's amazing. And I was able to close it down and re-upgrade the messages, so we have quite a few coming through and a couple requests for healing and such. But Nikki was asking, she said it just hit her and she needed to know if her and her family were safe. And regarding her friend's death, was his spouse in the vehicle that blew, or was he teaching again?
Okay, run this one through me again.
She's wondering if her and her family are safe due to this new, revelation. And she was wondering if the spouse was with him, or was he teaching again when this had happened? And that was the lady we had talked to earlier about the explosive device and her friend that's in the military.
Okay. His spouse wasn't with him. And I believe the family's okay.
Okay. And then she came through with a sideline question. Was that him that called her from China, or no?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have Andy O'Brien from Australia, and he is asking for healing. He said, yes, healing, please. He didn't reiterate any more into that as far as what he's needing healing from, but he is asking for some healing to happen for him.
Okay. Get him to lie down. And I will start at his feet and work my way up to his third eye. Tell him not to let my energy go too fast. Let it build up his body and feel that energy build and build and build until it has no choice but to move forward. We should be at his thighs now. having a problem with his right side of his body. I'm at his shoulders, moving my energy down his arms. And now to his head. How's he feeling?
How you feeling, Andy, mate? And it does take a little bit because there is a slight delay, but we'll see what he has to say here in just a little bit. And yeah, a couple people are commenting on dead air, and I'm like, I'm aware of that. You're doing your thing, and I don't want to break your focus. And and so yeah, we're doing what we got to do at this point. And, you know, there are a couple moments of silence as we are focusing, and I don't want to break that focus. So I'm hoping that helps Andy. Let me see if he's come through with anything. Not yet. But when that does come up, I'll let you know what he has to say. And our friend Sandra was wondering if she could have some healing. She's got a really bad cold going on right now, so and she's been dealing with that for a while. I think it's because of her travels, but she's hoping to have some help with that as it's kind of just clinging on to her.
Okay. So I'm going to put my hands over her lungs and heat up her chest.
Okay.
Can't you feel the heat of my hands? Is there still a delay?
Yeah, hold on one second. I'm looking through the messages. Oh, we have a call coming in. Oops, sorry about that. Trying to find where it's at. Can't find it. Okay, let's try to call her back. And then I'm going back over here to the messages to see if I can find it. She said she could feel it a little. Andy said, I hope the healing still works. So yeah, hopefully that worked for him.
Hello?
Hi, is this Barbara?
No, you got Mooney again.
Oh, hey, Mooney. Sorry. I just had a call come through. Let me try to find her.
Oh, you got... Okay, bye.
Bye. Man, this new Skype update. I swear. Okay, let's see.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to go throw some wood in my fireplace.
Okay. Yeah, we did have a couple questions in the chat room, but I don't want to keep you.
20 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, Barbara just tried to call, and I'm trying to find her number on here because I know she just did. Where the heck did that go? Barbara Heatley. Let me see if I can look her up because it did show her name. So hopefully, and Barbara, if you can hear this, I'm trying to find you. Let me try looking up her last name. Oh, I'm not happy with this new Skype. It's really a pain in my side. We're coming for you, Barbara. Let's see if we can find her. There she is. Okay. I'm calling her back.
I'm back.
Awesome. So yeah, like I was saying, we did have a couple questions in the room. Someone was asking where you're going to be studying your Reiki. Or Reiki, sorry.
Right here in Perth. It's called Perth. It's just outside Ottawa.
Nice. And Tripp was wondering, how do you... let me scroll down because I don't want to get this incorrect. But he's asking about when you do these readings, after so many readings, how do you regain your energy? And do you get headaches?
Really, I sleep. It drains me. Zero energy whatsoever. I usually sleep about 12 hours afterwards. Especially, I don't know what's going to happen tonight. Maybe sleep for a couple of days.
Right.
But yeah, normally it's just really a lot of sleep and rest. And I just try to block everything out. Because a lot of times with these readings, I'll be reading the same person or different people for hours and days afterwards. So I sometimes find it very hard to just block that person out instead of continuing to get more visions or predictions or what have you. So it's difficult. It's definitely draining.
All right. Hating to drain you some more, but we got a call here from a 780 number.
Okay.
And I'm hearing a dial tone from...
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how are you? Let me try to figure out where
not too bad. Yourself?
Yeah, sounds like it's dialing.
What are you calling?
I don't know. Let me see what's going on here. Sorry about that. Somebody's going to get a pretty funny voicemail.
Yeah.
And I don't even recognize that dial tone, so I have no idea what's going on. Weird. I hope it stops soon. And I don't want to hang up on you. That's the only one I see on here is you. Whoever we're talking to. And who are we talking to? I'm sorry. That is so weird. What is that? Yeah, I have no idea what's going on, so I have no way of stopping it.
No answering machine?
No.
On forever?
I'm like, yeah, is there an answering machine? I wish it would hurry up and pick up whatever it is.
Hey.
Weird. is so terrible. Okay. Barbara's trying to call. Hold on. Okay, go ahead. And who is this again? I'm sorry.
Well, she can go first. You can let her go. Oh, it's Craig.
Hey, Craig, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad yourself?
Pretty good.
Nice. So I guess I got a question. I met somebody this weekend. I was wondering, give me a general idea of whatever comes to you. Hello?
I think he's pondering it. Hold on.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Oh, there he is. Hello. Hello, Craig. I'm Craig.
It's almost like I'm talking to myself here.
Right?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Yeah. I think you'll see her again. Did you call them already?
Did you call who? You just came back in. I missed all of that. What you said?
Oh, that's all he said. Did you call them already? He was focusing on your question. He said you'll see her again.
Oh, call who? Sorry.
You met somebody on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you plan on
Friday, I think.
You plan on seeing them again?
Oh yeah, you bet.
Okay. I think it'll work out.
I think so, yeah. It kind of seems like a good thing. Like,
yeah.
Definitely, like, usually I'm pretty reserved, and I wasn't quite so reserved, I guess, so, I don't know.
That probably helped you.
Well, no, like, I mean, like, as far as, like, actions go, like, as far as, like, communication, stuff like that, I'm super open, but, yeah.
Just keep being less reserved, and it'll be more meaningful and quicker.
Cool. All right, well, thank you, Craig. Double gang.
You're welcome, Craig.
Enjoy your night, and thank you very much. Bye, Tessa.
Bye, Craig. Thanks so much for calling in.
Hello, guys. All right, bye.
Bye.
Do we still have her on the line?
She tried to call back again. I tried to call her, and then my computer's like, you need to allow your computer and whatnot to be connected, which I am on Chrome, which I'm on Explorer right now. But she did leave a little voice thing, so I'm going to play that really quick and see if that had to do with what she needed to know. Let me see.
Tessa, I just can't for some reason. So anyway, yeah, I want to be a part of this, but hey.
Yeah, and I told her, try again, and sorry, and I'll let her know, we are waiting on your call. And I know it tried to come through the phone, but I couldn't answer on the phone or else I'd hang up on you. So I'm letting her know we're waiting on her to call back.
Okay.
And I do really appreciate you being on. I know it's pretty late for you where you're at, and I think we've really done a lot of good for some people out there, and I really do want you to know how much I appreciate you being on this show.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you. Maybe that's her trying to call.
It is.
Okay.
Answering. Hopefully it comes through. Another screen is popping up. We'll see what happens. The little line's going in a circle. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Here she is. Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me? Hi, Barbara.
There you are. I can't get Skype.
Oh, man. Well, we got you through on here on Messenger, so I'm hoping that works.
Okay. Did I miss anything?
Well, did you have a question for Craig?
There you are.
Yeah. Hi.
No, I just didn't want to miss anything.
Oh, okay. We thought you were coming through for a reading.
Well, you know what, Tess? Remember the other day when you saw my little great-grandson's face and you did a reading on him?
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I told my granddaughters today, and they believe it, and they were just, like, thrilled with it. That's all.
Oh, that's awesome. He's so precious.
I know it.
Congratulations on your new, is that your great-grandchild? Oh, no, she's kind of cutting out. Are you still there?
Yeah, I am.
That was your great-grandbaby, right?
Great, yes. First one.
Oh, he's amazing. Well, yeah, we got Craig on tonight. We have 3 minutes left, and so he's been doing readings and healings for people. Did you need any healing or anything like that?
Oh, we're breaking up. This is bad.
Oh, well, I'm so glad that, the reading went well of your great-grandbaby, and I'm so glad that the family is open and perceptive to it, and I hope they enjoy him, because he's going to be a pretty amazing little guy. He already is.
Okay, we're breaking up really bad. I'll just send you a picture of him.
Okay. Well, thanks so much for calling, and I'm sorry we're having tech issues.
Yeah, I know. I love you gazillions.
I love you too, sister. No worries.
Oh, thank you, Tess.
We'll talk again soon.
I'm sorry. This is a bad connection right now. You know what it is? It's the lunar eclipse. It's messing with us.
It must be.
That's right. It's the full-blood wolf moon.
No, I can't even see it.
It's a mouthful. All right, we'll talk.
I can't even see it. I can't even see it from my house.
Oh, yeah, there was a couple feeds where they did it live, so that was pretty awesome. I got to watch it from my studio. But it was beautiful.
Do you find it easier, Tess, with pictures?
You look tired. I'm gonna let you go. You look tired.
All right, we'll talk to you later, Barbara. It was so good to hear you.
Okay, Tess. Thank you.
You're welcome. Love and light to you, sister.
Oh, love you. Love you gazillions.
Bye-bye.
Aw.
Okay, I'm sorry, Craig, what were you saying?
Do you find it easier with pictures?
Well, she had shared this picture with me of him. She wasn't asking for a reading or anything, and I just picked up immediately on this little guy is an old soul, and
right.
Yeah, he's he's going to be amazing. I mean, he already is, but I just look forward to see what he grows to be, and he's just really a gift to that family for sure.
That's awesome. No, I find it so much easier doing readings when, like, I always ask for them to send a picture, and then I kind of get it's easier to read with that. I don't know if you find the same, or does it matter?
Yeah, you feel more of a closeness, and you're able to get more from it, and especially when people call in or come to the Skype after party or whatnot, just hearing their voice and seeing them, you do tend to pick up on a lot more than just a voice, you know? So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it would have been interesting to have it work the way it was in the beginning.
Yeah, and hopefully in the future we can do this again, and hopefully Skype will get its stuff together and bring back, you know, the conference call so we can all see each other and hear each other, and get some better, more in tune readings that way, because it does seem a lot easier when you are able to see that person. And
can you see me?
I can see you, yes.
Okay, because all I see is your picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah, with your cowboy hat and your feathers.
Yeah. My sunglasses. But we are at the end of the show. How can our listeners find you online or wherever you're at?
I guess Leafloor.
Just S. Leafloor on Facebook, correct?
Yep. And, just friend me, and I'll message you back.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for being my guest tonight. It was so wonderful having you on the show this evening.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
No worries. And hopefully we'll get to do this again in the future if you're up for it.
For sure. We'll keep in touch.
Awesome. And thank you to everyone in Spaced Out Radio, Facebook, Spreaker, Twitter, Paranormal Radio, TalkStream Live, Deep Talk Radio, and wherever else you may be listening in the universe tonight. I had a wonderful time this evening, and it was my pleasure, literally and figuratively, and I can't wait to do it again next weekend on spacedoutradio.com. Thank you. It was so great having you. Oh yeah, there's the camera. Now you can probably see me. Hello. And you guys, until next time, nighty night, love and light to all my space cases out there. You guys have a wonderful week, and don't work too hard, and we'll see you back here next weekend. You're the perfect girl. We'll crawl for miles through the sand to win your hand and be your man. Don't forget, we're all in this together. Together we can make the world a little better. And together, my friends, we own the night. Hey, if you'd like to hang out on the Skype after party, feel free to look me up on Skype, and I'll try to pull you guys in there. And that way, I'm not hanging up on anybody. So if you guys would like to come to the after party, just send me a message on Skype, and I'll pull you in. You guys have a good night. Take care of my yous. And I can't wait to see you again next weekend.